Well, Ned, let's start this conversation. So you're coming for your very first time to Lima, right?
With glitter, yeah.
Well, Lima is a cool city with a lot of culture and music. Maybe are you planning to explore anything while you're here?
We have no plans in place. Happy to do, anything that the locals recommend. But yeah, we have nothing in already planned.
Well, I know you're gonna spend a great time here. Well, let's talk about glitter. It's such a different vibe compared to Title Five. What inspired you to explore this new direction?
Uh, at first, I think the kind of circumstances of the band kind of dictated the sound. I started doing the band just by myself, and I had just a couple simple instruments for recording and for playing. And so that kind of dictated the sound a little bit, and also just trying to try some new things that I hadn't done before sonically. And so I kind of settled on I don't know, a batch of songs that made sense, and it also felt cohesive and like a unified body of kind of work for a first release, and then just kind of followed it from there. There's no really predetermined idea with the band. It's just kind of trying things, seeing what sounds right, seeing what sounds good, and just kind of moving forward from there.
Okay, and was it challenging to transition from being part of a band to working as a solo artist?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I didn't really think of it as a solo artist. It was just a band with one member. That's kind of how I thought about it. And yeah, it was challenging because I think collaboration in music is maybe the
It's a
best
king.
thing about it. Yeah. And I think a big part of myself wanted to prove that I could do it by myself. And just even in instances prior where, I would write a song that maybe didn't really have any changes to it once it was brought to the band, just having whose opinion that you trust sign off on it is enough to kind of settle your nerves, and to not have that in the process. It was anxiety inducing at times, but overall I think it was nice to kind of show myself that I could do it, but it was also, I think it's been even better to return to collaborating and to get a group of people who are like-minded, who share a similar goal, who have similar sensibilities, and playing with them. That has been, you know, great. Much needed shift in the band.
Great, so sincere answer. And how does it feel to perform songs that are so personal? Do you ever feel vulnerable on stage?
No, not really. I don't know. It's not something I really think about. There are moments when it's brought to my attention, perhaps, when I am thinking about what I'm saying and thinking how that relates to other people. But I mean, I don't think it's any more vulnerable than putting it out in the first place. And even then, it just kind of feels like um, it feels kind of normal to me at this point in a
Yeah,
weird way.
you just
Uh,
spend a good time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think at first when I started doing it, it was nerve-wracking, but it just kind of feels like a regular part of my creative process at this point, I guess. It's
Great.
yeah, I enjoy being able to do that to a certain extent. And honestly, I think the best part of playing music is when you kind of when the audience and the band kind of becomes one in this weird way, when you don't really have to think about the song, when you don't really have to
Exactly.
think about anything that's going on, it just kind of feels like everybody's moving together as one unit. And in
Yeah,
those
that's
moments,
nice.
yeah, in those moments, it doesn't feel like the lyrics are vulnerable at all, because it feels like everybody is sharing it. It feels like it belongs to everybody. And to me, I don't want to say the goal, but that is definitely always something that I'm striving for. It's always something that I would like to achieve with the music.
Great. Nice answer. Who are some artists or bands that inspire you right now?
Um, I've been really digging through a lot of older stuff that I feel like I missed, and just going kind of backwards. Honestly, a lot of stuff that I've been listening to as of late has been a lot of ambient stuff, and spiritual jazz and stuff like that. And I've
Wow.
been really on like a Brian Eno kick for a while. I really enjoy this jazz saxophonist Pharoah Sanders. Um, uh, for contemporary stuff, there's this band from New York I really like a lot called Shaman Army. And they put out a record late last year that is really, really great and really inspiring. And then there's just like local bands that I really like a lot. There's this band called Position Unida. They're from DC and they're a bunch of young kids playing hardcore. And that is really exciting to me, to see people continuing a thing that I love and care about in a way that I think is doing it justice and playing good music.
Wow, cool. Many people associate you with the emo and hardcore scene. Do you think those labels still define you, or do you see yourself breaking away from them?
No, I mean I'm always hardcore. It's a thing that I've been a part of since I was young, and it's still a thing that I'm a part of. And it feels cliche to answer it this way, but the thing that I learned from hardcore at a very young age is it's more a mentality than a sound or an aesthetic,
Yeah,
you know. And so I really found that to be really empowering as a young person, and I still find it to be empowering today. And so it it informs a lot of my decisions in especially in music, but also outside of music. And it just changed the way that I approach things. It changed the way that I think about things. In just about every aspect of my life, and it's still that way to this day.
great. Let's talk about the human net. When you're not making music, what other creative outlets do you turn to?
Um, I really enjoy books. That's
Oh yeah,
probably, yeah, my favorite thing outside of music in terms of art. Um, yeah, and I'm always reading, and I try to kind of keep up with what's going on in contemporary literary fiction. That's kind of small press literary fiction is like my main area of interest in reading. But I do like all kinds of stuff, and I try to fill in gaps whenever I can. But yeah, I read a lot and I really enjoy that. And then I think the other thing that I really enjoy is keeping up with skateboarding, which is I like to think of it more as an artistic thing than an athletic thing. But that's probably because I am not athletic and I was never good at skateboarding, but I just enjoyed it so much. And yeah, I think the creation of videos and edits is a really artistic thing, that is really kind of I don't know, it's exclusive to skateboarding. And so yeah, I get for that kind of stuff I get the most excited about specific videographers putting out parts with specific skateboarders that I really like because you know that it's going to be edited well and cool and the tricks are going to be challenging, but they're going to be presented in a way that is really artistic and
yeah,
exciting.
yeah, interesting. Well, Ned, thank you for your time. Please, could you leave a message for the Peruvian audience?
Uh, Hello, everybody. We're very excited to come to Peru. We're going to be there in, quick time. And yeah, hope to see everybody at the show. And yeah, thank you so much for everything.
Great. And this is the last question. What was the last concert you attended as a fan?
I went to a show just the other week, this band from Pittsburgh called X Pilots. They're on a label from Oakland called Smoking Room. And they played in a DC suburb called Silver Spring, Maryland. They played with a local band called World Record, and I went to that, and that was I think that was the last show I went to. Yeah, I go to shows all the time.
Well,
Um, yeah,
that's
I
great.
I
A new sport.
I yeah, I still love going to see bands play.
Great. Well, Ned, thank you once again for your time. See you here in Lima at Vichama Conciertos.
Great, sounds great. Thank you so much.
See you. Bye.
Have a good one.